welcome back to today's video. This video is for class 6 history. We are going to continue with the chapter the River Valley Civilization, and this is the last civilization in the chapter, that is Chinese civilization. So we finished with 3 civilizations, that is Indus Valley Civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, Egyptian civilization, and this is Chinese civilization. Alright, so civilization of China began around 1800 BC with the rule of Shang dynasty. And Shang dynasty ruled or flourished during the year 1765 BC to 1123 BC. Like other ancient civilization, the Chinese civilization also flourished in river valleys. Now the 2 important rivers in this civilization were Huanghe and Yangtze. These 2 rivers played the same role just like the other rivers did in the other civilizations. It was in the valley of these 2 rivers that the Chinese civilization flourished. Now, Huanghe was one river that changed its direction, causing a lot of destruction in the city-state. Hence, Huanghe was called as Sorrow of China. Shang history, the first rulers, we get to know about Shang history from the first ruling family in China, which comes from excavation. So all the knowledge about Shang history or how they ruled, what happened during that age, comes from the first family that lived and ruled in China, rather made a living, and it was through excavation. China was known for their fine bronze work and marble sculptures. So the most prominent occupation or most accepted occupation during that time was fine work of bronze. So they did a lot of work with bronze. Also they built marble sculptures. Shang period declined with the invasion of Zhou. Okay, Zhou was another dynasty that came in, due to which Shang dynasty or Shang period came to an end. The king of Zhou dynasties believed that they were the priestly kings. So this is the map. You see the Shang dynasty ruled in this area. The Zhou dynasty ruled in the area that is colored in yellow. The Zhou dynasty came about in rule during 1123 BC to 2506 BC. Sorry, 256 BC. The Chinese civilization developed and flourished a lot during the Zhou rule. Now, Zhou rule, they believed during this rule that the most important people were the priests or the priestly kings. They were believed to be the sons of heaven. They said that their ancestors, or they were the descendants of God. Their ancestors were God. Now just like Mesopotamian, Egyptian or Indus Valley civilization had its main features, Chinese civilization too had its main features. The first one is society. Now society is one major aspect in all the civilizations. With regards to Chinese civilization, society was divided in 3 classes. There were actually several classes, but the most important ones were these 3 classes, which were class at the top, the bottom, and the middle and the bottom. So at the top were the emperors and the noblemen. At the second category, that was the middle category, consisted of merchants, artisans, craftsmen and cultivators of farmers. Since they lived along the river belt or along the two rivers, most important rivers, they practiced agriculture, and therefore they came under the second category. And the last category, or at the bottom, as they say, were the slaves. Now moving on, they practiced something called as family system. They believed that family should be closely knit. It was a close-knit unit and was considered as very sacred. They practiced and preached ancestor worship. They taught their children how to respect, worship and cherish what the ancestors have done. So the Chinese children were taught to respect the wisdom and the achievements of the ancestors. Next feature is Confucianism. Now, China's greatest teacher, Confucius, who preached good manners and respect for parents. The most important thing that is stressed upon were these two things, that are good manners and respect for parents. He considered people of the whole country as one family, with king in the position of father. Confucianism is based on moral ideas. People of China worshipped forces of nature. So they worshipped all the forces of nature, and with this they also followed Taoism and Buddhism. So this is China's greatest teacher, Confucius. Next feature is art of writing. Now we have seen that through all the civilization, the art of writing has differed. Some practiced picture writing, some came up with 24 alphabets with no vowels, 24 consonants with no vowels. Now Chinese civilization, people came up with picture writing. So they did not have alphabets, they practiced or they communicated, or their scripts were through picture writing. So how did they write on, or what did they write on? They wrote on silk cloth with brush made from camel's hair. So they used silk cloth and brush made out of camel's hair and wrote their scripts. Next feature is art and craft. Now there were two most important things that the Chinese people came up with. One is the Great Wall of China and the second one is pagodas. Now Great Wall of China it stretched for about 25 feet in height and 15 to 20 feet width. What happened was, this wall was built for the soldiers to keep a watch on enemies. So they would keep their soldiers there and they would have a watch on the enemies. Initially, it was not built at a complete stretch, at one stretch. It was built in short distances. But the Emperor Qi Huangdi completed this Great Wall of China. They also built pagodas. Now what are pagodas? Pagodas are like temples in the shape of stupa. So this is Great Wall of China and this is Chinese pagoda, which is built in the shape of stupa. So this was a temple where people would go and worship. The next feature is invention and discovery. Now during Chinese civilization, there were a lot of inventions and discoveries that came up. Okay, so they discovered paper, they discovered ink, painting, mariner's compass. They came up with watermill, wheelbarrow, umbrella, kites. They came up with paper currency. They came up with pottery, painted pottery. They did a lot of metal work. They also came up with instruments that could record earthquake and the natural calamities that would happen, mostly earthquakes. So they made instruments that could detect if there was an earthquake occurring or if there was any natural calamity that would occur. They also predicted eclipse. So they had good knowledge in prediction of or predicting eclipse. But one of the most important thing that the Chinese civilization came up with is the imperial examination. They were the first to make appointments to civil service, which started in 17th century and lasted for about 1300 years. It was like a competitive exam. It was termed as imperial examination. So it began from Chinese civilization. So this is what they invented: the gun, pottery, painted pottery rather, umbrella, and the various other things. So moving on to the next feature, trade. Now since this civilization took place at the bank of river, the two rivers, they practiced cultivation of silk. So they of course grew most of the crops as well, but the most important thing in Chinese civilization was silk. So they reared high quality silk. They were the first ones to come up with silk. They reared silkworms on mulberry trees. The finest of Chinese silk made it famous all over the world. It was the main item of export during ancient time, and they earned a lot of revenue through silk trade. Hence, they came up with Silk Route. Since they had connections with all other parts of the world where they traded silk, they came up with Silk Route. And the main item that they exported was silk. Alright, so these were the features of Chinese civilization. Now, if you have noticed, through all the civilizations that we've studied, the Indus Valley civilization, the Mesopotamian civilization, the Egyptian civilization, and now the Chinese civilization, these civilizations share some common features. Let us look at those common features. The first one is an improved civilization. Now, before the River Valley civilization came into existence, things were not at proper place. People didn't have most of the facilities, or they did not have enough resources. Whereas these civilizations brought in a lot of improvement. So a lot of crops were produced in large quantity. Bronze plow was replaced with old tools, or by old tools. Now they were using tools of wood. They were replaced and they started using bronze plow and things like that. Thick walls were built to stop floods. Now since they were living around or next to the river, at the side of rivers, there were high chances that there would be flood. So they built thick walls in order to protect themselves from these floods. They got good food and clothing because they were cultivating crops and they would export them, and they would import things that did not have. So they had good clothing and food. The next one is urbanization. So with the civilization coming in action, they came up with more towns and cities. Mesopotamian civilization was the urban character. We see skillfully designed cities by the Harappans. And if you remember, when we were doing Harappan civilization, we came to know that one of the most important feature was town planning. They planned everything very nicely. So they had good knowledge in town planning. Next feature is stratification of the society. So in all the civilizations, we've noticed that the society was stratified or divided into three parts: the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. So they had these three classes. The first ones were the priests and kings, then came the officials, soldiers, traders, the peasants and artisans, and then the last ones were the slaves. The next one is trade, commerce, and various craft. We've seen that a large part of population engaged in non-agricultural activities such as trade and commerce, and Harappan had trade contacts all over the world. Many objects of Sumerian origins were found in the ruins of Harappan sites. It is clearly proved that they had good trade relations with all the other countries. Next is art of writing. We've seen that the art of writing has changed rapidly with all the civilizations coming in its rule. First, there were no writing skills, or they did not have any idea of how to come up with the script. They came up with picture writing, then they came up with 24 consonants. So it went on developing. So there was art of writing that came into emergence. Then painted pottery. Chinese civilization was one such civilization that came up with painted pottery, or they had a large number of people engaging into pottery. Government and administration. Each region, or the layout and the planning of cities, it is clear that the rule of Harappans was from the administered group, or administered their cities with great efficiency. A group of people that administered the city. So they had people who were the chiefs who would take care of all the affairs that would take or occur in their particular city. Mesopotamian cities, the administrative authority were mostly the priests or the kings. The next feature is religion. Now, we've seen that Mother Goddess was one of the most important deity during the Harappan civilization or the Mohenjo-daro civilization. One of the most important deities we've seen on the seals were in the posture of, was in a yogic posture. We've seen it on the seals that they used. Then came the two important god, that is god of sun and god of afterlife. And these gods were worshipped, and they placed them into temples like pagodas, or they had the pyramids where they placed this god. So each civilization had these features in common, but certain things were different in each civilization. It differed throughout the civilization. So these were some of the common features that we have seen throughout the civilization, that is the Indus Valley civilization, the Mesopotamian civilization, the Egyptian, and now in Chinese civilization. So with this, students, we come to an end of the first chapter in history, that is River Valley civilization. I hope you've understood all four civilizations, why these civilizations were important, how these civilizations came into existence, and what were their chief features, what changes they brought in the respective cities, and how the rivers played an important role in these civilizations. So I will be putting forward some questions to you all on your group and the app. Please solve those questions, and if you have any difficulty, do feel free to revert back. Thank you.